What's up, y'all? This is part 2 of the harsh truths about every MLB team. Next year we're doing the National League. There's some bad ones here. There's not so bad ones. I was really struggling to find one for the Dodgers. I mean, like, they're a stacked team. They just came off a World Series. So we'll go through it, 15 teams, and let's get right into it. So for the Nationals, 1 year removed from a World Series. Doesn't really feel like it because losing Rendon really hurt, and it really showed. Besides Soto, there was not much offense in that lineup, and they kind of replaced them with like really old players like Castro, Kendrick. I mean, they lost Adam Eaton. So the team's kind of old. They're in a weird stage right now. They are in talks, apparently, with JT Realmuto, since the Mets got James McCann. So that'd be big. They need one more guy in that lineup that's a certified like all-star. Now the Braves. The window's actually really open right now. They got a young team with tons of talent. But if the Dodgers retool, add some more free agents, even keep the team as it is, this Dodgers team might be a team that always haunts the Braves, and the Braves will never be able to get past them, and the Dodgers will just be a dynasty. And then they're going to look back at this year being up 3-1, one win away from going to the World Series, and against a Tampa Bay Rays team that was good, not great. They might look back on this year as a haunting championship series. Marlins, everything worked out this year. They actually made the playoffs. The Kim Ng hiring this offseason was really good. The harsh truth, I'm sure a lot of people know this, is I'm going to go through the names they traded away in the past couple years. Christian Yelich, MVP. Ozuna had an amazing year. Chris Paddock, JT Realmuto, Kike Hernandez, Giancarlo Stanton, Luis Castillo. He was actually in their farm system. Those trades will never go away. Can you imagine how good their team was? They wouldn't be able to keep all those guys, but if they traded those guys for same top talent, they didn't get Sixto Sanchez out of sorry. So they got a couple good pieces, but that's not replacing that talent they traded away. The Mets, everything is going great right now. The team, they got a new owner. The team looks healthy, and it looks like it's going to contend this year. But there's always a chance they mess it up and like injuries, and it just gets dysfunctional. There's also the chance Steve Cohen coming here with the most money. What if he just strikes out on Springer, Bauer, DJ? That'd be kind of wild. So that's kind of the harsh truth. As for the Phillies, they have one of the harshest and worst areas they're in right now. Everything is burning practically at that franchise. They gave Harper the 13-year, $330 million contract, and then you guys are going to lose his running mate, JT Realmuto. There's a chance he resigns, but I doubt it. And then apparently you guys don't have enough money to keep Zach Wheeler, so you guys got to trade him. And then if all those guys leaves, that means Harper's got to be gone. So you guys didn't even make the expanded playoffs with this like window of Harper, Realmuto, Wheeler, Nola, all those guys. The Marlins made it. You guys did bring in Dave Dombrowski, so that's a move people do to contend. I don't know if I love it. I think I almost rebuild and I get rid of Wheeler and Harper because I don't know. I don't like that. This team is a third place team right now behind the Braves and Mets, even as it is, and looks like they don't have enough money to even contend and go past that. So we're going to move on to the Chicago Cubs. They had not a bad year, but an underwhelming year, and then underwhelming playoffs, losing to the Marlins 2 games. That was quick. Bryant and Baez badly underperformed. Baez, I think, just barely hit over 200. He had a really bad year. The first round loss to the Marlins, I mentioned, that was bad. This Cubs team looks like it's selling, and that could be it for the dynasty. Not really going to call it a dynasty, just like they had a span of like 4 or 5 years where they were pretty good. Cardinals. Yadier Molina is a free agent. He's not a great skill player, but you guys don't want to lose him. You guys want to make him a Cardinal lifer. Waino only has a year left. Oh, no, sorry, not a year left, but only has a couple years left until I'm sure he retires. No one on this team really is amazing, and there's no immediate help coming. Dylan Carlson looked all right this year, so their farm system's not great. Speaking of farm systems, you get the Milwaukee Brewers, who have the worst farm system in baseball. I usually am okay with prospects, and I went to their system and I couldn't name one. Someone besides Yelich is going to have to hit for this team. They do have the pitching, though. I really like their pitching. You got Woodruff, Hauser, Burns, Devin Williams, Josh Hader. The pitching's amazing. No one besides Yelich can really hit on that team, and Yelich didn't even hit well this year. We're going to go to the Pirates. I don't really have to say much. Worst team last year, so I'm going to be the worst team this year, and the worst team after that. Brian Hayes looks great. Besides him, there's no reinforcements really in their farm system besides Nick Gonzalez. I think they drafted 4th or 5th this year. Now, last one here in this NL Central is the Reds. They might be worse than the Phillies. Let's see who's worse. They lost Bauer after 1 year. They went for it in 1 year. Like, they brought all these pitchers and all these hitters that I'm about to mention. They went for it 1 year, and they got 60 games, and they didn't even hit. And now Castellanos and Moustakas are on really bad contracts for a team. I don't know if they're going for it. Especially Castellanos. Castellanos is terrible with no National League DH. You're going to have to put him and Winker in the outfield at left and right field. And it's absolutely terrible. I still think the Phillies is worse, but the Reds are in a bad spot considering they went for it and didn't get anything. NL West, we're going to the Rockies. Arenado and Story, they're in lots of trade rumors. Those guys are like generational talents. Arenado, they have not done anything with them. A couple playoff appearances. And even if they do, they keep them, they aren't doing anything in this present. The Dodgers and Padres are miles ahead of them. Even the Diamondbacks and Rockies are around that same spot. So I don't really know what they're doing. It almost is. You got to trade them and retool. It's even, I don't know, the Dodgers and Padres are young and good. You can't even like retool and say, in 5 years, we can rebuild for the best team. They're still going to be good at that time. Speaking of Dodgers, not much. The only thing I can really think of is I'm seeing like people on social media stuff like that saying this year's an asterisk. Year doesn't really count. They're probably just trolling, but I mean that would be super annoying. You guys went like 30 years without, it was 32 years without winning one, and then like 14-year-olds on social media are gonna say it's not real because there was COVID. Don't worry about it. Giants, you guys had a great year, but you're rebuilding, but kind of going for it because you guys gave Gossman a 2-year deal. I don't really trust anyone on the team. I mean, Donovan Solano had a good year. So you guys are rebuilding, I would say. I don't know about the front office. And your only real prospect is Joey Bart, who had didn't live up to the hype, as far as I can say, as the #1 prospect. Catcher Sean Murphy had a better year as far as prospect catchers. Padres. This is really tough because the team is on the up and up. Like, everything's looking great. Tatis, Machado, there's no faults there. The only problem is maybe the Francisco Mejia for Brad Hand trade. I think they did that a year or two ago. Doesn't look great. Brad Hand was one of the best. He had the most saves this year, one of the better closers. The Indians didn't pay him the $10 million, so maybe it's not a terrible trade. But if they had Hand, Kirby Yates, Drew Pomeranz, Trevor Rosenthal, even Emilio Pagan, that's an insane bullpen to go with a really good lineup and good starters. So you guys also gave up Taylor Trammell for Austin Nola, which, I mean, okay. Austin Nola had a really good year. Taylor Trammell looks like an amazing prospect. That's going to be really good for the Mariners. So we'll see. Maybe that will be 2 trades they kind of regret in the near future. But that's about it. Last one is the Diamondbacks. I don't know why I ended it with the Diamondbacks. I wrote down in my notes here, yawn. I mean, they kind of went for it and had like a really bad year. Ketel Marte had like a drop-down year from like he jumped up last year and then dropped down. Madison Bumgarner had the worst year of his career, and which is absolutely terrible. There's no real help coming soon. Alec Thomas looks good. He's a prospect. I think he played for them this year. That's about it. So that was the 15 NL DHs. In the next 3 to 4 days, I will do one good thing about every team, which I'm looking forward to because I don't really like being negative about the teams. I don't like mentioning that trolls are saying this wasn't a real championship, or I don't like saying the Rockies are stuck in like nowhere end. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, and I think I'm out. Peace.